What's going on, everybody? John Aeropoli here with my MMA news, and today's guest will be fighting Andrew Fisher at Bellator 287 on October 29th. Pleased today to be joined by Justin Gonzales. Justin, thanks for being here, man. Appreciate the time.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited. So, how you doing today?
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure to have you on the program here. Really looking forward to today's conversation. I actually want to start with kind of how crowded this division has been before we even get into any of these fight specifics here. And I want to start here. Obviously, your division, we know it's stacked. There's been a lot of big matchups as of late, and it seems like your division has been extremely active over the last few weeks and months here. Obviously, you're ranked in the Bellator system here. Were you surprised that being how active this division has been that you didn't get one of those ranked guys where everybody was fighting? Or would you have liked to have had one of those guys? Were you a little surprised by having a matchup against somebody who isn't ranked?
Shoot, man, this division is a crazy one. People are winning, losing to unranked guys, and then coming back and knocking off some of the top-ranked guys. It just shows that this game is crazy, man. This division is full of a lot of high-level talent. So it gets me excited, man. I want some of that action. I'm a part of it. I'm in there. I think I can be one of the best in the world. I think I can be a world champ, and that's what I'm gunning for. So it's just a lot going on in this division, man. Not super upset they didn't give me a ranked guy, coming off an L. I figure I kind of got to earn it back. And, shoot, they're not throwing me easy fights either. Kai Kamaka, tough, veteran of the game. Josh Fisher, tough, dude. He's a veteran of the game as well, man. He's been in this game for a long time. I think he's on like a 5-fight win streak and then maybe one contest. But, these are the fights I want. I think these are the fights that are going to put me right back in title contention and then start working my way up the division.
Yeah, man, I understand. There's a lot of big matchups on the horizon, too, I'm sure, for you, and we'll get into more of that in a second here. I do want to now get into these fight specifics. We'll start with training camp right now, and obviously camp's starting to wrap itself up. Fight night's kind of creeping up here for the 29th, so just how's your camp been going?
Camp is going great, a lot of I'm all over the place. I'm pretty much living out of my car, going from Greeley to Collins to Denver, getting some high elevation runs in Red Feather, and just back and forth. And so, hey, that's kind of how I'm used to it. So not too much has changed, but I'm feeling great, man. Now we start tapering back a little bit later on in this week. And hey, we rest, handle our weight, then we go kick some ass. That's what we do. So.
And I'm glad that you brought that whole thing up with Red Feathers Lake, because I was going to ask you about that. I saw the photos of it on Instagram, and it looked beautiful to be up there, just kind of taking in the nature and all that. What is it about that you enjoy and making that a part of your camp to train there?
I like being outside, and whenever you're kind of trapped in the gym all day, sometimes it's fun to do, it's good to just do something a little different, fun workout. Hall of Fame coach, wrestling coach, Milo Trusty, lets us go up and use his property, puts us through a workout, kind of gets our minds right. So Milo, I want to show some love to you guys, the Trusty family, for letting us go up there. Plus, it's just beautiful, man. It's about 8,000 feet in elevation. So obviously that's really good on your lungs. I live at about a mile, maybe just a little bit higher. So getting up there an extra kind of 2,000 feet, 2,500 plus, always good for the lungs, good for the cardio, and just prepping for this fight. I think I like to pride myself on not getting tired and kind of breaking my opponents, and doing so allows me to do it. So.
And you had mentioned, right, what was it, 8,000 feet in the air, or above sea level, I mean? Like, that's crazy. I'm sure that the lungs have to take a big impact from the workouts up there. But just talk about that a little bit and what it's like to be able to train 8,000 feet above sea level and use that cardio to your advantage. Because it seems like anyone that gets that opportunity to train in those high elevations like that really have the good cardio on fight night, and they're pretty much unstoppable inside the cage when it comes to the cardio aspect of it, because, man, it seems like you could go for rounds upon rounds upon rounds with that.
It's I started doing this when I was in college. They run a high school team in Windsor, and there used to be a lot of us going up. And, just as fighting, I want to win. I want to give myself any sort of advantage, any sort of edge that I can. And this is one of them, man. Going up there, man, it's not an easy thing to do. And you look at some of your opponents who, one, don't have the resources to go up to that high of elevation, and two, maybe just aren't even willing to do it. So I really pride myself on doing some stuff like that. It makes a big difference in my confidence. Not only my cardio, but like my confidence is huge. Knowing that I've put in the work and done those things that other people probably aren't. It just, like I said, I really pride myself on that. And it gives me a little motivation going in there, knowing that I can go further than he can.
And now I just have one last question about the training up there at Red Feathers Lake. And that was, again, like I said, on Instagram, I saw the photos. I really like the horses in it, man. The horses seemed really cool, and it just seemed like obviously a very nice nature thing. And then to have those horses there. What was the backstory with those horses, though, that you guys were able to be so close with them there and get the photos with them, how you did?
So those are Milo's horses. Blue is the older horse, bigger. He's been with him for, I don't know, I want to say like 15 years now. Good, well-tamed horse. Likes to be a part of the workout, likes getting some attention. So he's kind of like our little mascot. You see him as we're running up these hills and stuff. Sometimes he'll go a little crazy and just start doing some sprints with us. It's really cool. Then he just got a little colt named Ruthie. So she's fun, very well behaved, very well trained. I think Blue kind of helped with that. Yeah, Milo said he had to break her, and it's just fun, man. Gives us a little just different, coming from a city of Greeley where you have to go a little bit to get out to the country. It's nice just to become one with the earth, kind of get that nature feel, animal vibes, and just really soak it all in, man. It's a good environment for people to be up there.
All right, so now that we covered all of that there at training camp and the training there at Red Feathers Lake, I wanted to get in a few fight specifics here. We'll start with your opponent here. Just what have you seen out of Andrew Fisher? Have you been preparing for him now throughout your camp?
Andrew Fisher's tough, man. He's going to push forward. But you know what? So am I. So at some point, somebody's going to give and somebody's going to start backing down. And I tell you what, it's probably not going to be me. So, we worked on that, cutting angles, working our striking into our takedowns into our striking, a lot of grappling, just getting ready for it. Just overall, my thought is always focusing on me. This is my camp, and I want to be the best fighter I can be. And then we focus a little bit specifically on our opponent, on some things that he has some habits of doing, and we're going to point him out. We're going to point out his flaws, and we're going to take advantage of it.
And like you said there, right, you're planning on that he's going to come out hot right out of the gate and step forward, and that you're going to step forward, which automatically for the fans, if for anybody that's going to be watching, that automatically is going to be a great fight to watch. It's going to be super exciting. I just want to get your thoughts as you said all that there. It's kind of how do you envision this fight playing out? You kind of have the envisionment of fight night.
Shoot, man. I've watched several of his fights, man. He's going to try to bang a little bit, which is cool. I like it. I like that type of fight. That's my type of fight. And then he's going to try to push me back in the cage and take me down, which not going to be an easy thing. So if he can do it, kudos for him. I don't see it happening, but you know what? The fight is yet to happen. So I think I'm going to push the pace. I'm going to beat him up. I'm going to pick my shots and start breaking him down. And then eventually, he's going to get a little desperate to try to come create some action. And that's where I'm going to take advantage of. I'm going to catch his ass, put him down.
And now with all of that being said, I know we had opened talking about how active the division's been and talking about different matchups and whatnot. You had mentioned obviously coming off of a loss. You weren't expecting to get a ranked guy in this fight, but a win here I'm sure puts you in a fantastic spot to kind of climb the ranks slowly. Is that kind of the plan here? Go out and get a win and then you want a ranked guy next to start climbing up these rankings here?
Yeah, I think so. I think, coming off my first L against a tough opponent, and then bouncing back and getting a win back on the win side against, and then another win against another tough opponent would put me right in the spot where I want to be, where now I got some wins under my belt again. I got some momentum behind me. The ball's rolling. Now we start working our way up the division and ultimately working on getting that title shot and claiming that belt.
And I want to get your thoughts on this. Is a pretty big headline out of Bellator and kind of surfaced all around the MMA community when it happened. I know it's a guy you're familiar with because it's Aaron Pico, who is a former opponent of yours. But obviously, in case anybody missed it out there, essentially what happened was Aaron separated his shoulder in his fight against Jeremy Kennedy. And I mean, I've never seen anything like this where he's against the cage. He's literally trying to pop it back into place, and then in between the rounds his coach is trying to pop it into place. Like, that's a pretty wild sequence, and one that I don't think I've ever seen ever. I just want to get your thoughts on that, because it was a pretty big topic out of Bellator and out of your division, and just the craziness that it was.
Hey man, that dude's a gangster, bro. He's a good kid. He's got a good head on his shoulders. He does things the right way. So, even though he gave me my first L, there's no bad blood towards him. There's no animosity, man. We've talked after the fight, showed love, and I really do wish him the best. At some point, respectfully, I'd like to run it back, go get my O back. But when the time comes, man, I'm not sure if he had to have surgery or not, but I'm sure separating a shoulder like that isn't fun, especially in a fight, man. That's for it to happen to anybody, and it was a great fight leading into it. I think Jeremy Kennedy's very tough as well, who down the line we're gonna run it. So man, I wish him the best in his recovery. I hope everything's all right. And you know what? Hey, dude, back to that division, man. All of them can get it. Like I said, I want to run through them all. I want to get that title shot, and then whenever I get it, I want there to be no doubt that I am the undisputed champion of the 145-pound weight class.
All right, man, just to end today, I do want to talk about ice hockey, actually. I did see you're a big fan of the Avalanche, right? Big Colorado Avalanche fan there?
Oh, yeah, dude, reigning champs, Hey, any Colorado team I'm a big fan of. My Broncos, Rockies, Avalanche, Nuggets. Hey, man, I'll go support them all.
Well, with the Avalanche, I wanted to ask, are you still buzzing over the Stanley Cup from last year? And I know hockey season has started, first few games of the year here. You think they're going to go back-to-back?
They can. They are really good at what they do. They have the team, and they seem motivated, putting up some high-scoring games. So it's early, so let's see how it all goes. But, hey, I'd like to see them go back-to-back.
All right, so I'm going to ask you one more hockey question here, because I'm sure you've been following it a lot longer than I have. I've actually just started getting into hockey because my cousin Matty Beniers is a member of the Seattle Kraken, and I know last year took their lumps a little bit. This year might be more of the same, but they definitely look a lot better than they did a year ago when it was their first season in the league there. I'm making this bold prediction, and I'm no hockey expert. I'm literally just getting into it, but I'm really thinking about about 3-4 years or so that the Kraken are going to be a force to be reckoned with. I really like the direction that the team's going there. Obviously, you probably have a lot more knowledge of the hockey with me. Is that an accurate assessment that the Kraken are going to be good in a couple of years?
Well, they're a new team, just like any new team. It's going to take time for chemistry, kind of figure out their style of play and putting it into action. And, hey, they're tough, You give them a couple of years, they're going to be in the mix. But, hey, man, Avalanche ain't no joke, man. We're coming for it all.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm sure the Avalanche, though, they'll be around for a little while. They have a lot of good pieces there. Wouldn't be surprised if they went back-to-back or not this year. But anyway, man, thanks so much for the time. Really appreciate it today. Last thing before you roll out, social media management sponsors, anybody got to give a shout-out to? Floor is yours. Take it away.
Yeah, hey, guys, if you guys want to follow my journey, see what I'm all about, see what I'm doing, hanging out with my nieces and nephews, a little bit of the nightlife, some of my training, give me a follow. Twitter and Instagram is JTrainXGang. My Facebook is JTrainMMA. All my sponsors, Alberto's Express, 5-Star, Faithful Roofing, Rocky Mountain Flagging, Peak Automation and Electrical, 5280. My gyms, Trials, and Top Notch. Thank you guys, all you guys. Team Taylor, love you guys, man. Thanks for having my back. I wouldn't be here without you.
All right, Justin, my man, thanks so much for all the time here today. Really appreciate it. It was a great conversation, and best of luck on fight night again. Justin fighting Andrew Fisher at Bellator 287. That fight date, October 29th. And just one last thing before I roll out, like I always do. Just want to remind everybody, if you like today's interview, make sure to go to the bottom, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And keep your tabs on MyMMANews.com. A lot of great stuff comes out there all the time. We'll see you later, everybody.